Hey guys, welcome back everybody. Hope you all are doing great. Guys, today in this video we will talk about a static public IP address and I will show you everything practically because recently I have purchased one static public IP address for my internal server. Actually, I am running one application. I am hosting one application on my server and I want to give remote access to outside users to my internal server. Like user from the internet can access my application. That's why I have purchased one static public IP address. First of all, let me tell you about my requirement. So you can see this network setup is my home setup, guys. This is my home network, right? The network which right now I am using. My laptop is connected with the same network. Fine. So see, here I have one server, right? I'm talking about this server. And guys, the private IP address of this server is 192.168.1.4/24. And I'm running one application over on this server and the application IP address is different, right? So let's say application IP address is 1.10 and I want to provide access to that application to outside users, means you to the user sitting on internet. I'm saying outside user means user or on internet, users on internet. Fine. So my requirement is here the static NAT. On this Wi-Fi router, guys, I have to configure one-to-one netting because one-to-one netting is the bidirectional netting. Server can also access internet and internet can also access the server, right? So on the Wi-Fi router, we are saying port forwarding to the static NAT. So we'll see how to configure the port forwarding. But my basic requirement is this server should be accessible from the internet, not the entire server. See, even on this server, I am running multiple application with the help of ESXi, right? So one application is, let's suppose, EVNG, right? So I want to provide access to my EVNG to outside user, to user on the internet, right? So what we need to do, we need to configure a static NAT over here, correct? This was my requirement. So that's why I have purchased one static public IP address from the ISP in India. I will tell you about the prices as well, like how much it will cost you if you want to host one application, because even you can host the application on your laptop and after that you can give access to outside user to access that application. But again, you need one static public IP address, right? So hope the requirement is clear. See, the in my network setup, guys, I have internet connectivity on the Wi-Fi router and my Wi-Fi router is connected with lots of wireless devices like my PC. You can see my PC is directly connected with this Wi-Fi router, right? So the name of my Wi-Fi router is this one, Airtel Praful and 6341, right? This is my, so my laptop PC1 is actually my laptop is directly connected with this router, this Wi-Fi router. Then there are some other PCs as well, guys, like this is the PC of my brother, right, who is also using internet from the same network, from the same router. Then I have some other devices like server which is connected with the switch and the printer one. I have one printer as well, right? So these two devices are connected with this switch, and like this we have some more devices which are connected with the switch in the same way. Fine. And switch is connected with router, Wi-Fi router, right? And guys, DHCP service is enabled over here on this Wi-Fi router, so the printer or these PCs can get IP address directly from the Wi-Fi router. But here on the server, I have configured the static IP address because we are going to configure port forwarding, correct? So that's why server IP address is, you can see, 192.168.1.4. This is the static IP address. Now, to know the IP address of this router, what I can do, I can open my CMD. In my CMD, I can show you the IP config. So you can see the on the Wi-Fi adapter, guys, my IP address is 192.168.1.3. From the same subnet, I am using the IP address, and the gateway IP address means the IP address of router is 192.168.1.1. So this is the gateway IP address. Let me write here. 192.168.1.1 is the IP address of my Wi-Fi router. So as my laptop, my PC is connected with this router, I can access this router. Let me try to access this router first. To access this router, what I can do, I can open the browser, and in the browser I can type the IP address 192.168.1.1, right? And you can see I have access of my Wi-Fi router. The by default username is admin. I will change the username and password later. This is the default because recently I have installed this router and I thought to make one video for you guys. NH done. So you can see I have access of my Wi-Fi routers. So this is the router by the ISP, by the local ISP, and my ISP is Airtel, right? In the India, guys, most famous ISP is Airtel, right? And my static IP address is, let's suppose here 100.1.1.1, right? I can't show you the static IP address, my public static IP address, right? But let's suppose this is 100.1.1.1. For the security purpose, I am just hiding it. Done. Even here somewhere you can see not visible. Done. Done. So what I need to configure a static NAT for the IP address of the application, which is, let's say, 192.168.1.10 is the IP address of my app. Let's say app 1, right? And I want to give access to app 1 to the outside user. So actually I need to configure here one-to-one NATing, where this router will be translating 192.168.1.10 into 100.1.1.1. 100.1.1.1. So this is the translation, right? Translation, I am saying translation. Done. So guys, this is one-to-one translation, means it is bi-directional. So if someone will from the internet will ping this IP address, right? So they can ping to my server directly, to the application, to the app 1 directly, correct? The reason here on the Wi-Fi router I have configured static NAT, means if this router is receiving traffic on this IP address 100.1.1.1, it will translate into this private IP address. And if this router is receiving traffic for this IP address, it will translate into this IP address, this public IP address 100.1.1.1, right? This is the basic idea about static NAT, right? On the Wi-Fi router we are saying port forwarding. Port forwarding, right? So you know how to configure a static NAT on the Cisco routers, on the Cisco switches, on the firewall, right? Today you are going to see how to configure a static NAT on Airtel Wi-Fi router, or you can say on the broadband router. But before talking about that, let me talk about the cost, guys, how much it will cost you. Even you can purchase it for the practice, right? Like you can try to host one application on your laptop, even you don't need to purchase the servers, and after that you can try to access it from the internet, right? So cost of static public IP. I'm talking about cost in India, guys, right? So again, in India we have multiple ISPs. I'm talking about the Airtel, right? So see, first of all, you can have two types of connectivity. One, you can purchase the shared link, right? Shared link from your local ISP, or you can purchase a dedicated link, right? Shared link or dedicated link. Dedicated link means ISP is going to provide you a dedicated link between your location and their base location, right? Like the Airtel office, between Airtel office and my home, they will provide me a dedicated connection with the agreement, right? Like my local ISP is going to promise me 98% uptime or 100% uptime. So if you need like 100% reliability, network should be available always. In my scenario, as I told you, I am running one application, right? One, I'm hosting one app. And guys, reliability is not main concern for me, right? But I want user from the internet should be able to access the application. If there is some issue from the ISP side, no problem, user can try after some time, right? So I don't need 100% availability, like the server should be or the application should be available always. So I have purchased the shared link. If you are hosting some application that should be available every time, then you have to purchase dedicated link with the agreement, right? So in that scenario, your local ISP is going to promise you the uptime, right? They will sign one agreement, okay? And your server will be, your network means will be available 24 by 7 every time. If there will be some downtime, then ISP is responsible for that, right? Now the difference between shared link and dedicated link is, guys, shared link is cheaper as compared to dedicated link, because as ISP is going to provide you a dedicated link, definitely it will be costly, right? So if you are going to purchase IP address, a static IP address with a dedicated link, it is going to cost you around 18 to 20 USD dollars per month, right? 18 to 20 USD dollar per month for dedicated link. Dedicated link, right? Or I can say around 25 USD dollar, right? And again, it's very ISP to ISP. I'm talking about the Airtel, right? Because recently I have purchased the dedicated link from the ISP from the Airtel, and it has cost me around 25 USD dollars, right? Including all tax. Then for the shared, so for the shared link, it is going to cost you 2 to 3 USD dollars for shared link. So this is the price in India, right? Even you can check price in your country, you can ask to your ISP, and if you need the static IP address, simply you can tell to your ISP, you can send one mail to your ISP and they will, you know, call you for that, right? After that you can apply for the IP address. Definitely it is for the corporate connection, so the paper is required, right? Like you need to send the maybe GST paper or the private limited paper, okay? So if you have the certificate, you can purchase the static IP address. Done. Now next thing, cost is clear, right? How to use it, sorry, not how to use it, where to use it is clear, right? Now how to use it. So see guys, to use it, first you need the static IP address. Now you can try to ping that IP address from the internet, right? So let's suppose you have one mobile device, one mobile, and in the mobile, guys, also you have what, internet. So just disconnect from your Wi-Fi, from your broadband router, and connect with your mobile network, and then try to ping the public IP address. If you are able to ping the IP address, that means outside users are able to ping that IP address. Now the only thing is you need to configure port forwarding here. So guys, to configure port forwarding, again the configuration depends on types of routers, but the process is going to be common, right? So the common process is, see here I have access of my router. Let me log in again. Right, common process, see under the application you will get NAT option, like advanced NAT configuration. Here you can see, right? So guys, just click on advanced NAT, and under advanced NAT somewhere you will find the port forwarding configuration or the virtual server configuration or the, you know, static NAT configuration, right? So here you can see in my scenario the option is virtual server configuration, right? And in the virtual server configuration, here I can select the application, right? select the application, like HTTP protocol, you want to use HTTP protocol or HTTPS protocol for the web access, for the TFTP, for the telnet, SNMP, right? So for according to our requirement, we can select the server here. Let's say you have a CCTV camera, right? Somewhere in your office you have installed one CCTV camera. This is your office, right? And you want to monitor like the people in your office are working or not. So what you can do, you can install one CCTV camera here, right? And then guys, you can connect this CCTV camera to internet. CCTV. So you can purchase connectivity from your local ISP. They will install one router here, broadband router, right? And you can connect the server to the broadband router, then broadband router is connected with internet, right? Now on this broadband router you can configure what? Port forwarding, static NAT. So ISP is going to provide you one a static public IP address, let's say, which is 100.100.100.100 or 10. Done. So now you are at your home, right? Somewhere else at different location, but again you are also connected with internet, maybe through the mobile internet or through your again broadband in your office, like let's say you have set up like this, right? So at the end you are connected with the internet, and guys, both internet are also connected directly, both ISPs network are directly connected with each other. So from your device you can ping to this public IP address, right? So what will happen if you will configure a static NAT over here? Let's say my CCTV camera IP address is 10.1.1.1, right? So if I will configure the static NAT, like the translation for this IP address 100.100.100.10 into 10.1.1.1, right? So when you will from your home, when you will ping to this IP address, when you will hit for this IP address 100.100.100.10, what will happen? This is the public IP address, means it is routable on the internet, right? It will, your PC will forward traffic to ISP, ISP will forward traffic to other ISP, and once this ISP will receive the traffic, translate it will translate the public IP address into the private IP address, and after that it will forward traffic to the CCTV camera, and you can have access to your CCTV camera. Now you can monitor it from your home, right? You can watch people what they are doing in the office. Getting my point? So same thing I am doing here, right? Instead of CCTV camera, I have what? Server. So server can be like your application can be CCTV camera, your application can be HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, telnet, right? So according to your requirement, you can select the application, right? Now after that, we need to select the protocol, as you know, TCP, UDP, or both TCP, UDP. So you can select the both, or you can select one. After that, it is asking for the external port, which is the 80 port number, then internal port. Just use same port number, no problem. After that, guys, internal server IP address. So in my scenario, internal server IP address is my application IP address is, see, I am not going to provide access of the entire server, correct? I'm going to provide access to this application, this app. So my IP, internal IP is 1.10. So here I will type my IP 1.10, right? And after that, just click on add. Once you will click on add, it will make one entry like this. You can see I have already one entry. So this is IP address of my server, entire server. So someone can access my server with the help of my public IP address, with the help of my static public IP address. Okay. So hope guys this concept, like a static IP address concept, is clear, like what is the cost and how to purchase it. To purchase it, as I told you, you need to ask to your local ISP, and the guys are going to provide you the static IP address. After that, you know how to configure it, right? And when we need to configure it. Done. So this was just a small video. Whenever I am trying something new, I am making one video, right, for my subscribers to share my knowledge, guys. If you have learned something from this video, please hit on like button. If you have not subscribed this channel till now, please subscribe this channel. We will meet soon in next video. Till then, stay safe. Bye bye. That's all for today.